So we're going to start by combining Ca's MCI and hydroxide. So we're going to take a look at the periodic table for Ca's MCI. Ca is right over here, and if you guys remember from the pattern that we learned, this is the +2 column, right? So everybody in this column is +2, including Ca. So Ca will be Ca2+. Okay, so that's our first ion. Alright, next ion is hydroxide, and hydroxide is from the polyatomic chart, so that's why I asked you guys to pull this up on your Chromebook so that you have access to it. Hydroxide is right over here, and it is me. It is OH minus. Okay, so OH minus.
Woo!
Alright, we got 2 ions, positive and negative. Which one do we need more of? Yeah, hydroxide, OH minus. Great.
Wait,
so you need 2 of them because it's +2 and -1, so you need another -1 to balance that out. And so we're going to write our formula. For our formula, like I've been telling you, just write the positive and negative next to each other. So Ca and OH. Oh, that bell's dying. Okay, so first just write them next to each other, then you can add the numbers afterwards. If you take a look, we need 2 of these OHs, right? So we're going to put a 2 behind it, but this looks wrong because not just 2 H's. So we put OH in parentheses, and so that's how you get your chemical. So this right here is the formula of the chemical that you make.
Wait, do you know why do you put the H in uppercases?
Because hydroxide is made up of oxygen and hydrogen is combined together.
I'm just asking because you know how Ca is like Ca.
Yeah, Ca is one element from the periodic table. OH is a polyatomic, so it's made out of H and it's made out of O. So it's made out of 2 things, and when they combine, they make a minus charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still think I'm gonna take this class? Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's write the name of this compound. So we always start with the positive one, so we got to write the name of Ca. And if you look on the periodic table, this one's pretty easy. Ca is just calcium. Calcium. All right, and then we write the negative one. The negative one is OH, and that is hydroxide, right? We just saw that from the chart. And so that's going to be our name, calcium hydroxide.
I have a question.
What's up?
It's with the names.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had a hard time with names.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard, so I just need to come up.
Okay, so the last part of, or I guess the last new topic before your lab is we're going to be talking about something called solubility. Okay, and solubility, I do want you guys to write this term down. Solubility is basically just answering the question, does this chemical dissolve in water? So if you have a chemical in water, solubility is asking, does that chemical dissolve in water? All right, so let's talk about how we can answer that question. So when you mix chemicals together, sometimes they dissolve in water, sometimes they don't. If they do dissolve in water, we call that chemical soluble. Okay, soluble. That means it is able to dissolve in water. It is soluble.
Soluble. It sounds so funny.
And so what that means is, it means that if those chemicals are soluble, it means that you won't see like clumps or chunks forming inside of the liquid. And so when we do our lab on Friday and you start mixing your chemicals, some of the chemicals you make will be soluble. You mix them together and they dissolve in water. There's not going to be any things like floating in the water. All right, but sometimes when you mix chemicals together, they don't dissolve in water. And so they can be either slightly soluble or insoluble, and that just means that they do not dissolve well in water. So basically you mix 2 chemicals together. Sometimes they're 2 clear chemicals, and all of a sudden when they combine, they start making chunks, they start making cloudiness inside of the water, and that's when we say that they are either slightly soluble or insoluble. And so today what we're going to be learning is we're going to be learning how to predict that. We're going to be learning to predict if I mix these 2 chemicals together, will they dissolve in water or will they start forming chunks and solids? Okay, so are they soluble or insoluble is what we'll be learning. Okay, so let's look at this table. I know it's a lot of stuff, right? But it's actually really, really easy to use. So what this table allows us to do is it allows us to predict if I mix a cation and anion, will the formula of the chemical you make, will that dissolve in water or not? So let's say, for example, we have this chemical right here, NH4 plus, and we are combining that with S2 minus. Okay, in order to figure out if that chemical dissolves in water or not, you just kind of line them up. So you just go to the box where they line up, and here it says SOL, right? SOL is short for soluble, so if you want to jot that down in your notes, you can. SOL just basically means it dissolves in water. It means it's soluble.
Wait, where's soluble?
Soluble means it dissolves in water.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to have to write the formula. So for your lab, you'll have to write that it's NH4-2S. But for this chart just tells you whether it dissolves or not. But yeah, you do need to write the balance formula and the name and all that. Great question. Okay, everybody good with that? How to read this table? It's pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to another example real quick.
Insoluble.
Insoluble. So yeah, for example, if we're taking a look at Mg2 plus and let's say F minus, and you line them up here, it says that it's insoluble, right? That means it does not dissolve in water. So that means it's gonna form chunks or solids in there. So
Well, also.
yeah, so I'm gonna get there. Okay, so we're gonna look at insoluble. Insoluble means that it does not dissolve in water. So insoluble does not dissolve in water. SL sol, it means that it's slightly soluble. That also means it does not really dissolve in water. And the last one right here, the blank, if you see a blank, that means that chemical breaks down into something else. That means it's also going to form a solid. So make a note on your notebook right now. Insol, slightly soluble, and blank means that it's going to form a solid. Okay.
It's LSOL or LOSOL?
SL-SOL. Yeah. Okay. And so solid means that it forms something called a precipitate, and that's what we're learning about. Precipitates are basically solids that form inside of liquids. Okay. So just to kind of review, soluble means that it dissolves. That means it does not form a solid in the liquid. But if it's any of these three, it's going to form a solid. Alright, so for the example, we're going to be combining Pb2+. So we're going to look at our chart. We got Pb2+, and we're going to be combining it with fluorine F-. Okay? So first, let's start by writing the formula of this chemical. So we have Pb2+, and fluorine's MCI is F-. So let me give you guys about a minute. See if you guys can write the formula of this chemical. What ionic compound are they going to make? Take about a minute to do that. Okay guys, let's write the formula. So if you look, you got Pb2+ and F is -1. So hopefully you guys can see you're going to need 2 F minuses. So if you combine them together, your formula is going to be PbF2. Everybody good with the formula? Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, great question. So you only put parentheses if you need multiple of stuff from this chart. F is from the periodic table, and so if it's from the periodic table, you don't put parentheses. Yeah, good question though.
Does the parentheses also work if there's 2 capitals? Wait, yeah.
So for the name, we're gonna do the same thing as before. We're gonna take the positive and we're gonna do the negative. So let's start with the positive. If we take a look at Pb on the periodic table is right over here. Okay, and the name is lead. Okay, so the name is lead. So we're gonna write down lead for the name. Okay, now, the thing about lead though is that it's in the section with no most common ion, right? It's underneath that line we talked about. So if it's in the section with no most common ion, we have to add the parentheses after the name. So it's gonna be lead, parentheses, and then we're gonna write the charge of lead, which is 2, inside the parentheses in Roman numerals. So Pb is lead 2 because it's Pb2+. And then for the anion, F is fluorine, but since it's from the table, we change the ending to fluoride. And that's going to be our name.
Why ide?
It's just the way that we change our name.
Every time?
All right, and then last part is the new part. We're gonna figure out, does it form a precipitate? Well, we're gonna line up PB and F minus. We line it up and it says insol. And if you remember, insol means it is insoluble. So this is going to form a precipitate. So for this one, you can just write PREC and then period. Just to show that it forms a precipitate. If it does not form a precipitate, if it's SOL, for your assignment today, just make it quick. You can just write NP for no precipitate, okay?
And precipitate, you put PR?
Yeah. Okay, precipitate just means you mix these chemicals together, they're gonna start forming solids inside of the liquid. Okay, thank you.
We're great.
Okay, thank you, that's it.
I'm with Lily.
Okay. Alright guys, again, make sure you guys find a partner to work with and come see me before you start the actual assignment. This is gonna be your lab partner for Wednesday and Friday.
Can I charge my AirPods?
Yeah, that doesn't work. You're gonna have to use the one next to the pencil sharpener. Just keep an eye on it. And Andrea? Okay, thank you.
Can I charge the card?
Oh, in the Chrome. Yeah, just keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you. Oh, shoot.
You know, I got the award for being the most joyful in 6th grade.
I believe it. You are pretty joyful. Hey, Brooklyn, can I project this so everyone can see?
What happened? You have to Can I see it?
It is definitely you.
Oh my god, actually looks
Yeah, it's good. Brooklyn, you know what the truest thing I've ever heard is? Nobody looks as good as their profile picture, but nobody's as ugly as their ID picture.
Oh, that's so.
Isn't that so facts?
That's so. What did you say?
Nobody is as good looking as their profile picture, and nobody's as ugly as their ID picture.
Well, a lot of people have their back to the. Wait, do I look good? Who has their back to my hair? Who takes their ID picture? Who takes the picture of the back? I didn't think of that. I'm surprised who
It has two numbers like this. Do I go off of this number or this one?
Oh, so for the positive negative, right?
Yeah.
It's always the one on the top right, so it'll be +1 combining with -2.
So I need to add one more.
Correct, yeah, exactly. What's up? Yeah. Okay, so positive and negative, right? Are they balanced?
Oh yes, they are.
Yeah, +1, -1. So if they combine, you don't need to add any numbers. You can literally just write them next to NaCl.
Oh, okay. So what happens if they're not?
Then you have to add one or the other, like what we did here. You see how it was +2, -1? You have to combine another. You have to add another one. So you just add another one, add a 2 behind it.
Okay.
How you doing? Oh, this student is not in this class anymore. Yeah, just take the pass. Hey Mel, can you do me a huge favor? I need you to take a walk though. Can you go to the main office and tell them these students are not in my class anymore? Sorry. Main office? You can, no, the one like right when you come into the school, like, yeah, to the left. Yeah. Just say, Mr. O's class, I don't have those kids no more. Thank you.
Wait, is this like a paper? For example, wait, is this?
Yeah.
Mr. O?
Yes.
If my partner gets something wrong, is it on my grade too?
Yeah. If you both fail, and I'll see both of you next year. Hey, you two can be my favorite multi-year students.
No.
Why not? You hate me. You don't want to see me next year?
No.
Hey, respectfully, I don't want to see you again after this year either.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Respectfully,
Yeah.
I think I'll take
The only context I want to see you is you drop by and say, "Hi, Mr. O." Or in the future when I see you out and about with your jobs and your adult life.
job. Shower.
Fine. Fine, Bella. 10 years from now when you're homeless, you want to hear that?
Yeah.
It's either job or homeless, so.
I think I've reached that.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
You know what?
If it's FE, or if it's just if I have one iron,
Uh-huh.
if I have one iron, I still have to do the same paper and brackets.
You have to add the stinky brackets.
Right, Mr. O, the one O is in parentheses because it's on the other table.
Mm-hmm.